Hi friends! A common desire for many people around the world is to own their home. Each of us dreams of having our own place, albeit a small one maybe, but most importantly, our own. However, some people work hard all their life to achieve this goal, while others decide to get a loan or simply give up on this idea, thinking that they'd never be able to earn enough money to be able to afford to buy a house. Actually, the man in our story also used to think so in his youth. However, when he became an experienced architect, he came up with the seemingly ridiculous idea. Sure, some people may argue that it's impossible to live in a house with a width of only 72 centimeters at its narrowest point, but the man from our video decided to prove the opposite. Actually, architect Jacob Skinny came up with the idea to create this unusual house rather accidentally when he was sitting in the courtyard of a restaurant in Warsaw. The man noticed a dark gap between two houses on the other side of the street, and it was then that the idea of this project was born, which has become one of the craziest architectural designs in recent years. The gap that inspired the man was located on one of the central streets of the city and separated two buildings, and it certainly wouldn't have occurred to anyone to build a house there, except for Jacob. Soon he made the first sketches and presented the project to the local authorities. And since Jacob had already completed several projects in the city before, they approved this project too. Thus, Jacob started working on building his house, and just a few months later, the house between houses was ready to greet its first guests. What is most surprising is that, as I've said before, the house is 72 centimeters wide at its narrowest point and only 152 centimeters wide at its widest point. Nevertheless, the house handles its tasks well, and it has absolutely everything that any other house has. The building is designed to have 3 floors, which include a living room, a kitchen, a bedroom, and a bathroom. The bedroom features a designated workplace, so that the house isn't only good for living in, but also for working. There are 2 windows that fill the premises with enough light to feel comfortable. The depth of the structure is 10 meters, and the height is 9 meters. The metal structures of the extension are attached to the neighboring houses and raise the new dwelling to a height of 3 meters. There is a special folding ladder for entering the house, which is activated using a control panel. The house was placed between 2 skyscrapers, which are completely different in architecture and style, as they present 2 different historical eras, and therefore the author decided to make his creation less noticeable, so that it wouldn't attract much attention. A metal door was placed on the street. Behind there is a small patio. To get inside the house, one needs to use the ladder, which has a mat in front of it, and an alarm. The ladder will take the guests to the first floor. The door of the house is made of metal and plastic, and is located horizontally, therefore it opens upwards. On the one side, the ground floor has an improvised hall, where one can take off their shoes and leave their coats. And on the other side, there is a bathroom with all the amenities, as well as the kitchen with a wash basin, an electric stove, and a dishwasher. There, one can safely cook and then take a shower. In order to get to the next floor, one will have to climb a Swedish ladder. That's what works as the connecting link in the unusual dwelling. The second floor has a bedroom and an office space, and even despite the fact that the bed is only 90 centimeters wide, the architect says that it is enough for one person to comfortably sleep in. In front of the bed, there's a desk and a comfortable chair. There is always a lot of light in the bedroom because of the window that's located right next to the bed. The house really is very bright because the walls and the roof of the house are made of a special material that transmits sunlight. A small third floor is a free space for storing personal things. And as for utility systems, such as electricity, sewerage, and water, during the cold season, the house is heated by electric radiators, which are enough to warm up the small area. The total area of such an unusual house is about 15 square meters, but nevertheless, one can see that the architect managed to fit in everything that's necessary for a comfortable life. After this miracle house was built in 2012, the house between houses has become a local landmark, and thousands of people take pictures next to it and even bring tourists over to see it. Now, the famous Israeli writer Edgar Keret lives in the house from time to time. He stays there during his trips to Europe, and according to him, living in this house brings him great pleasure. Moreover, the house has a great location, being in the Wola district of Warsaw at the corner of Żelazna and Kladna streets. The house has quick access to all tourist infrastructure, such as restaurants, cafes, shops, etc. Overall, this type of house can hardly be used to live there permanently, but it is perfect for staying a night or two in the city. Moreover, climbing the ladder between floors would give one an excellent workout. The house is very popular with tourists. People from all over the world line up to spend at least one night in the world's narrowest house. Friends, how do you feel about this unusual house and the architect who designed it? Do you think you could live in this house? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. And that's all for today. Rate the video if you liked it, and see you soon. Bye.